Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're reviewing a last call Hellcat Durango. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Larch Miller Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah for giving me some time with this Durango. This particular last call Durango is still available for sale for the time being, so I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out this Durango and the rest of the stuff they have. On a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time I purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into it. Powering this is a supercharged 6.2 liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 12 around town and then 17 on the highway, with power outputs being 710 horsepower and then 645 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Starting with the hood, we have some insane venting, which looks so cool, especially the hood scoop there in the center. And then popping down below, we've got the Durango's new headlights, and then you guys can see here it's all open to feed that supercharged 6.2 liter V8. Of course, got the Hellcat badge, and then you can see down below it's also all open. You don't have fog lights here on the Hellcat, just to help out with airflow. And putting it all together, I mean, this thing looks so aggressive for a 3-row SUV. So our tire and wheel setup is 295, 45, 20 in the front and over in the rear. And then you guys can see with the wheel design, you got the silver there on the top. I love the red brake caliper and how it has the SRT logo on it. And then we have these body painted fender flares. Then you guys can see Hellcat badge there on the side. And then everything else here on the side's been blacked out. And here is your full side view. The wheels definitely pop out quite a bit on this Durango. So here's a quick look at the key fob. We have our unlock function or lock function, the opening here for the hatch, remote start, and then the SRT Hellcat logo there on the back. And popping into the rear, you guys can see we've got some floor mats action here in the back. We've got a 12 volt here, and then with the seats, you just have a little strap to fold them down. You can see while folded down, it definitely provides quite a bit of extra cargo space. And when you're all done, you've got this button right here that you press, and that will lower the hatch right back down. Since this is a Durango, you guys can see that we've got the LED light bar action here in the back, and then look at all of the badges here as well. And then giant exhaust tips here at the bottom. I mean, look at that, with the cover over the receiver hitch in the center. And I guess speaking of receiver hitch, this thing can tow almost like 9,000 pounds. It's pretty crazy, but there's the rest of the rear. Now taking a look at the door panel here in the back, soft touch here at the top, then you guys can see the trim down below, and then look at the stitching below that. I think that's really nice. And then we've got these cool red leather seats. Notice they're perforated all down the center, and you've got some white contrasted stitching as well. Legroom here in the back's really good. Got a little storage pocket. And you guys can see the vents here, heated seats, USBs, and then we've got a full power outlet as well. Almost forgot to mention, headroom's good. And then we also have the climate controls here at the top. And then as for the third row, you actually can fit adults back there. It is more comfy though for kids. And then there's vents all along the top. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see the padding here at the top, and then look at the trim down below, and then the stitching that goes across. We've got all of our window controls here. Front two are automatic, and then you've got your mirror adjustments, and then memory seat functionality as well, and then blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And for those of you wondering, we've got 1,200 pounds of payload capacity. And then here are the seats, SRT right there, which is really cool, perforated all down the center. We've got our power adjustments here on the side, and then all of our light controls right here, and then look at the stitching and everything. Now here's a look at the steering wheel. We've got perforated leather here on the sides to get a slightly better grip, and then I like the trim down below and then at the top as well. Paddle shifters for that 8-speed automatic. We do have radio controls below the paddle shifters. We've got cruise control, regular cruise control, and then adaptive cruise control. Controls there for the center stack, voice command, phone controls as well. And then your turn signal windshield wiper stock in the back is 2. I literally just said is 2, and I'm going to keep that in the video because that was weird and funny. Anyways, we've got the gauge cluster, which is all red and aggressive. You can see different bits of info here in the center where you can change through that basically. But I think it's cool the speed it goes up to 200 miles an hour. Again, this is a 3-row family SUV. You gotta keep that in mind. Now in reverse, we do have a backup camera, which trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and resolution on it's pretty good. And then I love the little race car helmets on the people for the climate controls. Heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, dual zone climate. You've got the climate zone for the rear as well. Overall response time to the screen's pretty good. You can see it does take a second for some of the menus to load up, but we're gonna go to the SRT pages because this is where things get crazy. So this has like the biggest drive mode select I've ever seen. We've got track, sport, auto, snow, tow, custom. I mean, it's got drive modes for pretty much everything, which is kind of cool. And it even has an eco mode as well. By the way, nice soft touch all over the dash here, and then you can see also with the stitching that goes across. We've got our analog controls here for the climate system, the radio controls, seats, and all of that. Wireless phone charging pad, some USB action right there. And then here's our shifter for that 8-speed automatic. And then we've got some cup holder action. And then with the center console, you've got the double open, which is pretty cool. And then, yeah, storage space in the glove box is good. And then up top, we've got our controls here for the sunroof. And yeah, it's got a sunroof. So here is our window sticker. You guys can see base MSRP $93,605. This one has just a few options added to it. Total MSRP is $101,200. And let's cap things off. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood. Both mirrors do blind spot monitoring. And through the rest of the rear. And, well, Hellcat Durango. Oh wait, I feel like I've reviewed so many Hellcats this year. But I guess that I feel the need to, because you guys know that I used to sell Dodges and Rams actually at this dealership. And so, like, you know, the Hellcats and stuff, they've got a really close place in my heart. And the fact that they're getting rid of the Hellcats, you know, obviously I want to, I guess, post as much content as I can before I will no longer post content, because Hellcats will not exist in the future. Isn't that a sad future? I think it's a sad future. So first off, the Hellcat Durango. This is probably the strangest Hellcat out of the bunch, but also the coolest out of the bunch. And here's what's strange. It's a 3-row family SUV, right? 3-row family SUVs are supposed to be about practicality, and this does have a lot of practicality. It's got the 3 rows. It's got this very nice, comfortable interior. The suspension's really comfortable. It can tow quite a bit. Like, it does have a lot of practicality, but also the impractical part is the supercharged V8 that gets not the greatest fuel economy. So, like, if you went on a road trip in this thing, you'd have to fill up quite often. But again, if you can afford the Durango, you can afford the gas for the Durango. But yeah, like I was just said, super comfortable ride, and it sounds amazing. And here's the deal: these super high performance cars like this, the cool thing about driving them is it just makes driving so much more enjoyable as long when you're not at the gas station. and what I mean by that is, like, okay, just normal driving here, I barely have to get into it. It just has so much power. And it sounds so, you just get this nice supercharged sound, and it's just smooth. It's such a smooth experience. And so, like, that just makes day-to-day driving, like, I think that's a luxury. Like, not having to dive super deep into the throttle to get a car to get up and move. And then, you know, when you want to have some fun, it has a fire-breathing V8 under the hood with over 700 freaking horsepower. And it sounds fantastic, and the shift points are super aggressive in sport mode. And it's just this is just an animal. It's an absolute animal. So, to sum things up, and this probably will end up being my last review, I wanted to at least get a review on a new one, because I did post some Durango reviews on Hellcat Durangos that may or may have not been 21s, and a lot of people gave me crap for it. And, you know, hey, it's how YouTube's algorithm works. I go with the algorithm. But now I officially have a 2023 Hellcat Durango review. This is an actual 23. You guys saw the window sticker. Yeah, I think that this is such a cool vehicle. I'm sad to see it go. Nobody ever expected this to be like a super high volume seller, but this is one of those vehicles that it's just cool that it exists. It's cool that we live in a world, I'm gonna let this person go because they're blocking the whole driveway. We live in a world where you can go into a dealership. You don't need a special license, you don't need a special anything. As long as you make enough money, you can go into a dealership and you can buy a 3-row family SUV with over 700 horsepower. I like that world, and I'll be sad when that world doesn't exist anymore. Let me know your thoughts.